This will be a fairly short review, mostly because of the subject of today's video, not him, Dune rather, as he's a scout class, and you can't really make a long review on them without having a bunch together, which I don't. And that should be enough waffling around. Let's actually talk about this guy, shall we? Scout class, the cheapest Transformers you could buy in the early 2000s and 2010s that were sort of Transformers. But unlike some newer cheapest Transformers that were extremely hollow or looked sort of off, these actually looked decent, and this guy is no exception. This Stumpy gremlin has more paint than you'd expect. The head with visor, eyes, stripes, like this one stripe, and yellow. Yeah, I don't know what these things are, but they're painted. The chest with its reinforced windscreen, which I think that's what it is. The spotlights, and more that I will talk about in vehicle mode because they really are in service for that mode only. But I will say the colors. Interesting choice for this blue, I must say. Doesn't really go well, but I guess it could be worse. But what is interesting are the limbs, because they're just weird. The elbows, for example, on the arms are on the lower end, meaning it just has this very weird off-putting look. It's mostly because of transformation though. Also, the legs, they curve inwards, giving the illusion that he leans forward if you look at it from this angle. Very Michael Jackson. Now these aren't problems, just fun observations. What was a problem was the right heel having a factory defect. There is a chunk in this spot, as you can see right over here, that causes the heel to be wedged and stuck, and to fix that problem, all you do is just nip it out. Seems easy. Of course, I need to A, unscrew this, and B, remove this pin. I could easily just unscrew this, but pin, I need to do a bit of research on that one, and it's more of hassle as the other one works just fine and he still stands, so I don't really see a need to do that. But maybe someday. Still a bummer though. And also, due to transformation, you actually get a butterfly joint. Quite nice actually. Also, the arms rotate this much due to the ball joint that they use right over here. And also because of that ball joint, they can't go out this way. But if you put it at an angle, you can. But yeah. As shown before, the elbows are just a basic 90-degree bend. And yeah, that's sort of it for arms. You do get a waist swivel though, mostly due to transformation. The legs go out and back this much, pretty good. And they also do the split, the full amount, a limited thigh swivel, a 90-degree bend, and a ball jointed head with some tilting that rounds out the articulation. And you can also position the guns as well, if you desire. Now, because of the limits of his articulation and also the way he's been designed, he looks a bit uncomfortable in any pose you put him in, and his side profile reveals his bulk is merely a facade. His face is also one of either boredom or sadness. But sure, the Gatling guns are cool though, so he's got that going for him, I guess. Quick size comparison with Core Class B right over here, so shorter, but he is the better figure, and then with a modern deluxe. So, not bad, but there is a reason why the price range has increased. A hallmark of Scout Class toys are their simplistic conversions, easy to do, mindless flipping back and forth. This guy right over here is just that. but the end result still amazes me. An interior with steering wheel that doesn't show up on my camera. You can sort of make out the silhouette of one, but this does tell me that I need some lights. But it does have a steering wheel, dashboard, arms being implied seats. It's really cool to see a Scout class have even something resembling an interior. Paint applied also prevents this buggy from being dull to look at. The gasoline guns are definitely the eye catchers, but the 8 lights in total at the front, 4 rear lights painted in red, militaristic decals like the numberings over here, the Nest logo, the bumpers being in a nice chrome. It's clear, like many older figures, that the designer started vehicle first. It also rolls very well due to pins on all 4 wheels, which has been having a bit of a comeback recently. You do love to see that because it's just so satisfying doing this. Recommending this little fella is easy. Do you want a fun desk toy that's relatively cheap as it's a Scout class? Fan of those buggies from the first film, but Landmine was more expensive than you liked? I'm not paying $40 for it. This guy will help you with those questions. Well, there's also a plethora of other Scout classes, so it's really up to you. I only have this guy, but he's fun, so I'm happy. And that's all I have on him. Again, not much to say. I hope this was useful and to see you next time. Bye.